Hey developers, I hope you are doing good. So in this video, I am going to teach you how to install Tailwind CSS in a Vue JS project. So before we start, you just have to make sure you have already installed Node.js. So if you don't have Node.js, just go to nodejs.org and then you have to download whatever the latest version is. So after you have installed Node.js, just go to any directory in your system and type cmd here and press enter. After you press enter, you will see a terminal window something like this. So if you're using Mac or Linux, you just have to open the terminal. So let me zoom in a bit. So here you have to type node-v, and if you see a version number like this means your Node.js is working fine. So now let's go to the next step. So before we install Tailwind CSS, we have to set up a Vue JS project. So for that we have to go to vite.dev, click on getting started. So here you have to scroll down and find this command, npm create vite at latest. So copy this command, go to your terminal and here paste that command and press enter. So it is going to ask you few questions. The first question is what is going to be the project name. So let's say first project and press enter. Here it asks for the framework you want to use. So we are going to use Vue.js. So select Vue and press enter. And now it asks if you want to use TypeScript. I prefer using TypeScript, but if you don't prefer TypeScript, you can use JavaScript. So let's select TypeScript and press enter. So now it says you have to go to first project. So let's go to the first project, cd space first dash project and then press enter. So here we have to run npm install, npm space install. After you run npm install, it will start installing all the dependencies required. So after the installation, you will see a message something like this. So now let's run the project. For that we have to run npm space run space dev. Press enter, and now it says you can go to http localhost 5173 to open the project. As you can see, we have successfully created a Vue project using Vite. So now let's install Tailwind CSS. For that you have to go to tailwindcss.com and click on get started. So on this page you have to select framework guides. So because we used Vite to set up the project, we have to select Vite from here. So because we are using Vue, we have to go to this using Vue. So here we are going to skip first two commands because we have already set up our project and it says create your project. So we are directly going to the second step and we are going to copy this command and going back to the terminal. Let's close our running project by pressing Ctrl C and paste that command and press enter. So after you press enter, it's going to install Tailwind CSS, post CSS and auto prefixer as a dev dependency. So let's wait for the installation to finish. After the installation has finished, you will see a message something like this. So now let's go to the second step. So on the documentation, we have to copy this command and run this command in the terminal. So we are going to paste that command and press enter. So when you press enter, it's going to initiate a tailwind.config.js and postcss.config.js. As you can see, it has created these two files, tailwind.config.js, postcss.config.js. So now let's go to the next step. So on the documentation, the next step is to configure the template paths. So copy this content and now we have to open the project in VS Code. So let's type code space dot and it will open the project in VS Code. Here we have to go to tailwind.config.js and in the content we have to paste whatever we copied. So paste here and let me explain what is this. So it says it's going to scan index.html, it is going to scan source, any nested folder inside source and any file name. It is going to see for the extensions Vue, JS, TS, JSX or TSX. So it's going to scan all these files in order to create classes. So Ctrl S. So now let's go to the next step. Now we have to add a Tailwind directive to the CSS file. So now in the next step, we have to copy these directives and we have to paste this in style.css. So let's go to our code. So here we have to find style.css, which is inside source. So here we are going to remove all these styles. So let's remove these styles and paste the directives we copied. So these are the three Tailwind layers: Tailwind base layer, Tailwind components layer and Tailwind utilities layer. So now all we have to do is to run the project and add classes. So now let's run the project by using npm space run space dev and press enter. So it will run the project again. Now let's go to the browser and let's reload this. So as you can see, we don't have any styles because we removed from the style.css. So now let's go to the code and use Tailwind CSS classes. So I am going to open app.vue and I am going to remove all these things. And inside the template, let's have a div. And inside the div, I'm going to add a paragraph. Welcome to Tailwind CSS. And I can add the classes as well. So class text 5xl, text center, text red 500, and font, let's say bold. So now if I control S and open my browser, so you can see the classes are working fine. So this means we have successfully created Vue JS application with Vite and installed Tailwind CSS in that. I hope you have learned something new in this video. If you want to follow me, just subscribe to my channel and let's meet in the next video.